Hey, he's getting more in. When it does all grow together, we're going to be like, we'll throw a party.
He's still such a peanut, too.
I was telling Derry the other day, my parents called me. I told you this, right? Yeah. Was that you? I couldn't remember if it was you or my sister. And I'm like, all right, well, love you guys. And they pause. They were on like the car speaker. They pause and they go, bye. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, Rebecca's really got good with I love yous.
Oh, no.
I get better.
No.
Okay, so this is funny. Our Bible study, we like make fun of Rebecca because like
You get real mushy-gushy and I'm like,
she's like, and so like one night.
Wait, your parents said they love you and you said bye?
No, she said that.
I said it and they both called.
Oh, to make fun of you.
No, that's just how they are.
That's what I told her. I was like, wasn't raised on like, I love you in physical touch.
And so she missed study one night, and all of us were like, let's just all separately text Rebecca and be like, hey, we really missed you tonight. Love you. And so we like all sent it to her separately at like different cadences. And she texted me separately, and she was like, why is everyone texting me some form of I love you? She was like, I'm uncomfortable.
I'm so uncomfortable.
She's like, could y'all please stop? Don't love me. Love me less.
Love me less, please.
She was so funny though. She was like, yeah, it was literally crickets. I was like, did you say I heard you?
Oh my God.
Because KG, you were also being like, love you, babe, love you, love you.
We love you.
She's like, I heard you.
Oh my gosh. I feel like that's probably why he loves her. He's like, oh, she hates me.
Yep. I gotta try harder.
I gotta try harder.
She's hard to get. It's probably how my husband feels about me. I gotta be better. Our anniversary's on Sunday.
Is it? Oh my gosh.
And I was like,
how many years?
6 years.
6 years.
I was like, can we not do gifts now that I'm not working?
Oh, yes. Yes. I can't wait to talk about it. Oh my gosh.
It's been wild.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
All the things are tumbling. Yeah.
Well,
Let's dig in.
let's get in.
Yeah. Welcome to Moms with a Call. We're not here to preach, convert, or fix you. We're here to listen.
We're McKenzie
And Rebecca, two women with messy stories, honest questions, and a quiet hope that maybe Jesus looks a lot more like love than we were ever shown. If you've ever wondered if there's a place for you in all of this, there is. Come, have a seat at the table. You're safe here. You're welcome here. Let's begin.
Hello and welcome back to Moms with a Call. We have a very special guest. I'll let Rebecca introduce her.
Yes, this is Dare. I was about to call you Dare Stokes.
I mean, technically.
Wait, what's your last name?
So, this is so bad. And even fitting because we were just saying it's my 6-year anniversary on Sunday and I still haven't changed my name.
Wait, I literally have you as Dare Stokes in my phone.
Because
That's
it
her
is.
maiden name.
Oh.
Well, it's her real name, her
Wait,
real
that's
last
on
name.
Instagram, is it not?
Yeah.
Well, it is. So
But-
it's like Dare Stokes Blalock. So both my kids' last name, it's my husband's last name, and I've just been terrible about changing my
And
name.
why
It's
go
not
to the
gonna work.
DMV when you can just change it on Instagram?
That is so
You know,
funny.
credit cards,
Yeah.
passport.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know Phil's gonna listen to this and kill me.
He's
man.
not going to listen to this.
Let's be real. It's fair. It's fair. He's like, I gotta log up and see what she said.
Yeah.
Y'all talking about
gosh.
me? That's so funny. Okay, so you guys are besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in
Wilmington. Yep.
Okay. And so what is, I guess, like, what's a little bit about you, your background? I feel like we do a bad job of introducing people.
We do. We do no bio. We're like, here they are.
Welcome to the party.
Tell us about yourself.
So Rebecca and I actually know each other. We met through our husbands. They went to college together. I met my husband in Charlotte. I had just gotten out of a relationship and went bowling with some friends who were actually married. Yeah, Charlotte has this place called Park Lanes. So it's like a bar and bowling and all the games and everything. And Phil was walking out and I was walking in and he almost walked into a door checking me out.
Oh.
Let's be clear. He had been there like bowling and drinking all day. So who knows if he knew what he was looking at.
He's like, girl, I ran into a door for you.
Yeah. Did you? But what's so funny is, so my girlfriend who was married and her husband was there at the time, she was like, can I give him your number? That guy just almost walked into a door checking me out and she chased him down in the parking lot. I was like, yo, dude, you want her number? Gave it to him. And so he texted me that night actually asking if we could
Okay, Phil.
I know.
Okay.
Asked if we could get a drink sometime. And what's even funnier about all this is we met up and small world, came to find out that we had actually had dinner together in a group setting before
Shut
this.
up.
After a Panthers game, both of us had no clue because I was dating someone at the time. So like didn't put much weight into the
Yeah.
other men at the table. But it was like months and months before that we had actually had dinner together and didn't know it.
Wait, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So, how long did y'all date then?
We dated for about a year and a half before we got engaged.
Okay.
And then got married after a year
my
of being engaged. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and so you lived in Charlotte.
So lived in Charlotte. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina though. But lived,
ECU?
no. Went to state for 2 years and then transferred here to Wilmington.
Ah.
Had to get out of Greenville.
So then wait, what made you go to Charlotte then? If you were in
job.
Wilmington? Ah.
So I've been all over the place. My last year of college, I did an internship up in New Jersey, moved back home to Greenville for a couple months, and well, really over a year, worked at the hospital there, and then applied for a job in Charlotte without really knowing anyone there.
Wow.
Got the job and moved, and just kind of went from there.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got out, right?
Yeah.
So I spent 5 years in Charlotte, and then when COVID hit, we were like, let's get closer to the coast because my family lives in Moorhead and Greenville, and so
Yeah.
we wanted to be a little closer to them and moved here.
And so you came, and then that's when you met Rebecca?
Yeah, so I actually met you before we
Yeah.
moved here.
Oh, because you were the college friends.
The college friends,
Okay.
and we had come down to, there's a group, we call it our family from Charlotte. There's a group of like 4 other couples, and we all signed up for a race down here, the Beach to Battleship race. So ran a half marathon. Some of the folks ran the half marathon with me. Some did like the 10K, and we had come down for the weekend. That's when I met Rebecca, and you're pregnant with Phoebe when I
Oh
met
my
her.
God.
Yeah, Ross introduced me to all of his
Best friends.
best friends. Here
What was,
she
your,
is.
what was your impression?
So Phil and I always joke that Rebecca was like the best thing to come out of COVID.
What a title.
Because the first time we met her, we were like, is this legit? Like, she gonna be a club rat?
She gonna be a club rat? Oh, because he was a club rat.
Ross is a very different person at the time.
Ross is very social. And like he was 32. I met him in my early 20s. So obviously I was a club rat. What else were you doing in your early 20s?
While you were pregnant with baby, you were a club rat.
No. No.
But we always joke. It's so funny how this has come full circle. So we met her, I don't even know what year that was, like 2016 maybe?
I was pregnant with her 2018.
2018. No, that's right, because I met Phil in 2017. Math is hard.
It is hard. It's such a simple math.
So yeah, so when we met, and then full circle later, her and Ross are now the godparents to both our kids.
Oh my gosh. You made club rats. The godmother and father to your children. Wow.
I love this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you officially moved down, what, in 2020?
2021.
2021.
Yep.
Okay. When did y'all
April.
become like besties though? I kind of want to know.
As soon as she moved here.
Like
it
really,
was
it was like instant.
Yeah.
You guys, oh,
because Phil and Ross,
We
we might have to cut this, but we call them Dumb and Dumber.
They also look alike in
Yeah.
certain ways. Like they have the dark hair, the dark beard.
Yeah.
And they both are like, when they're with each other.
they're just dumb
They're
and dumber.
Yeah, they're Dumb and
Yeah.
Dumber. So
Who's dumb and who's dumber?
I don't know.
even
It
know.
depends on the night.
Yeah, it depends on the night. 100%.
So Dara and I just like we just kind of like they went that
love
or
for
over
the ride.
there. Yeah. And we were just
Yeah.
like, we're in this together.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. I love that though. And how nice though to move somewhere and like instantly have a
Yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
That's so. Did you know anybody else here when you moved?
Yeah, so since I went to college here,
Yeah.
still
I mean,
had
people
some friends
say.
from that, and then my stepbrother and his wife actually live here, and our 2 nephews. And then my best friend from Charlotte had also just moved here, so she lives like 5 minutes up the road from me. So had friends here, but hadn't seen a lot of them in years other than my stepbrother.
Yeah.
So it was kind of rebuilding that network here in Wilmington.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they have some other like they have a big group of college guys. You met
do.
some of them at Ross's
Yes.
40th,
Yes,
but there's
yes.
like what 15 plus
Easily.
of them.
Were they in a fraternity?
Phil was.
Which is even funnier.
And so there's
Ross is too social. He didn't need one.
no,
Exactly.
he
the
was
man.
good.
He's good.
He was good.
Do you know, actually, side note, my sister and my brother, both separately, they were like, is he actually the mayor of Wilmington?
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, he is. We're pretty connected over there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, Rebecca would be living a nightmare.
I would. Like, I'm not a mayor's wife at all.
Gosh. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. That was a great. Honestly, I feel like we need to just like chat more.
Yeah, we do.
About the people we bring on, because that's good. We need backstory. So
Yeah.
what's funny is we've actually tried to record this before.
Yes.
But obviously your story, it was still changing, and a lot
lot.
of things have happened
Yeah.
that the audio was so scrambled. And I truly think that was divine intervention.
I do
yeah.
too.
Because
That's big things.
yeah, I'm excited to talk about all this today, because still some of it I don't even know.
Right.
So yeah, I'm so excited. Not that you're going through a lot, but
Honestly, it's been good.
it's been good.
I'm
Okay.
not even upset about it.
Okay, wait, that's insane, because you're so type A.
I am.
You're very type A. You like have things planned
Yeah.
out, and just from my interaction with you.
Right.
So let's kind of start. Let's go backwards
Yep.
into your childhood, how you grew up,
Yep.
and what your faith was like.
So I very much grew up in the church. My parents were married for years and years. They got divorced when I was in 7th grade. And that's when I really started leaning into the church. Like, I had always known about God. I was baptized very early. That was part of our Methodist faith. Went to youth group, the Wednesday nights, the mission
Yeah.
trips, like all the things. Did that all through middle school, high school. And I would say, like, early years in college, saying I wasn't super involved, but I always believed in God. And then slightly after college, I went through some like rough relationship stuff. And I think that's when I started questioning God for sure.
Yeah.
And my mom will even say this. There was a time there where I was like, I don't know if there's God. Like, you really think so? And had those doubts. And then things got better, right? Things got lighter, and I came back to my faith after all that. And since then, just over the years, I feel like it's gotten deeper and deeper. But there are definitely some heavy times there, but it's always been kind of a staple in our family
Yeah.
that, like, we just grew up in the church. It was what you did.
I think it's so refreshing to hear another person kind of talk about having a faith crisis,
Yeah.
because so many Christians don't talk about it. Yet
Absolutely.
I think almost all of us go
We
through
go
it.
through
And I don't, and maybe this is wrong of me to say, but my faith wouldn't be anywhere near what it is today
Same.
without going through that faith crisis.
Absolutely.
And so if you're going through a crisis listening to this, or you're like, I don't even know if there's a God, that actually, I want to say is a good thing,
It's part of your journey.
it's part of your journey. Like,
You should be questioning
you should,
these things.
yeah, like he doesn't want just blind submission to him. And
You
so
don't want it to be lukewarm.
yeah,
He wants
no,
you
he
on
wants you to
fire
be
for him.
on fire for Jesus.
Yeah. I read this quote today that was like, if you don't hit rock bottom, and we could call that a faith crisis. For me, it was.
Yeah.
Rock bottom is where you find clarity. It's where you find something that you were meant to seek out. It's where you find God. So I think it is a crucial part of
Yeah.
the faith journey. That doesn't mean you have to go through a faith crisis,
No.
of course, but it's so common because it's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's part of it.
Yeah, there was a pastor that we actually had at a church. We go to a different church now, and he actually did an entire sermon on the benefits of doubting God. And I had never heard of that before.
Most pastors wouldn't be so bold.
No.
But that's where your faith gets so strong.
It does. And it like gives me chills just thinking about it, because also, if everyone's like, you shouldn't doubt the Lord, you should be so strong in your mind and your, all of this all the time. But like, as humans, we're going to doubt.
processing.
Yes, processing.
Yeah.
It's so normal. And who are we to say that God isn't powerful enough to handle our doubt?
Yeah.
And we don't have all the answers, right? Like, that's part of it.
Yeah, and we never will.
No, we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
So what'd the pastor say about doubt?
So it was a really good start. I can't remember the exact scripture he was talking about, but he was saying that doubt just brings us closer to God. And so when you're doubting, you're not actually saying, I don't believe in you, God. Like, you're not shunning him away.
not
You're not
trusting
too
you to
much.
handle this.
Yeah, no, you're not. Yeah, you're not.
You're seeking.
You're actually, I think he said, it's his exact wording. I think it was actually a sign of faith by having the ability to speak out your doubt.
That's interesting.
It's
Yeah.
it's like spiritual maturity.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you don't have these questions
just
and
only believing
seek,
instead of-
and
Yeah.
to seek to find the answers, which typically when you do find the answers, you uncover more. And then you get to the next thing and you uncover more, and it just builds that spiritual maturity.
Yeah.
And the
So
reassurance
it
of
can
what is
be,
real.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I really want to find the scripture because it was such a good. I wonder if it's on YouTube too. But I just remember sitting there and I'd never heard of that before, and it was just because I felt so heard and seen because I was still going through my own stuff. Sorry, I'm making this about me,
not at all.
but it's just it is so interesting that now we are able to come out and kind of talk about doubting and how normal that is, and it's not always. What do you guys think? Do you think it's the devil placing that doubt?
I don't know. So I get kind of, just from my personal experience, maybe it was at that time, but I think some of it was like my own immaturity of me just playing the woe is me card of like, well, if God was real, why am I so unhappy? Or why me when I'm trying to do, which will play into some of the story we're going to talk about of like, it's almost like playing the victim a little bit of like, I don't know that I believe you're there because you're not helping me.
Yeah.
At least in the way I expect you to.
Or it's like a one-sided relationship.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do for me, not what I can do.
Exactly.
It's not a...
what to serve the world and like what your purpose is here.
Absolutely.
Not just what you want.
And maybe some of that is the devil, like placing those seeds of thought, but like, I think it's our own human nature as well.
yeah, it's also like living in a broken world.
Absolutely.
And so I think maybe it's not the devil actually coming in and there's all these outside. Maybe it is
don't know,
sometimes,
right?
who knows?
Yeah.
But I think it, like you say, it's our humanness. It's our imperfectness that comes out in seeking him, and doubting is such an important part in the journey to seeking, I think.
And I think when you're going through things like that and you're seeking and he's about to show you something,
You get impatient.
of course you're going to have the devil come
Yeah.
in and you're going to have resistance.
Of course. Yeah.
So I think it's both. Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's so
sometimes that's the
interesting.
easier route, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to be a Christian and
Oh,
believe in
it's
God
so
and all the
hard.
things. And like, you have to truly put your faith in him. And I think that's hard. And so sometimes the easier route is to say, well, if I just don't believe that he's real, I can live about my life and not worry about it.
Well, so I have control.
Which you don't.
But you do not. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's just a way.
queen. Yeah, you do not.
It's probably just a way to disassociate too.
Yeah.
Like I don't have
the
to.
pressure off.
It's a lot to go through, to process, to unravel, to uncover, and
You don't have to hold yourself to this higher standard, whether it's like self-imposed, right? Of what you expect a good, godly person to be. But when you let go of that reality, you don't have to meet that expectation for yourself.
Yeah.
when in reality, as there never was
There
any
isn't.
expectation.
He's going to
And
accept you no matter what.
It's so much easier to let go of control.
It's
and
free.
Give it.
Yes.
And I know that's
But that's understanding the
Yeah.
true character of Jesus, which I
Yeah.
think is misconstrued.
Yes.
We have it backwards.
yes, exactly. Okay, so maybe let's dive into.
I know, we just got off
sorry.
there.
But okay, so you got 2 babies.
I had 2 babies.
2 babies.
The cutest babies on the planet.
They're so cute.
I say that completely unbiased, right?
I mean, they are.
Completely.
They are.
I mean, they're pretty. They're so cute, and their little cheeks.
the hair.
I can't. The curl. Oh my gosh, I can't. They're so cute. Okay, so Becca is
2.5.
2.5, and Banks is
8 months.
8. What?
I know.
Like you just. I mean, Forrest just turned 1.
Isn't that wild?
What the heck?
We just had them. I
We
don't know
just
how
had
that
them.
happened. I'm also still 20, so I don't know how that happened
That's
either.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm 21.
Same.
So you had a pretty hard journey
did.
to conceiving, and so you struggled with infertility. And
Yep.
how I know that's a loaded question, but how is it walking through that? How did you even find out about infertility? And
That was a wild thing. So little background on me, I've always worked in like the health and wellness realm. So went to school for community health education, was always into like physical fitness, running, eating right, all the things. And so when Phil and I got married, I was actually a health and wellness coordinator. So would work directly with patients in direct primary care to manage like chronic conditions for diabetes, hypertension, all that good stuff. And so when we first started trying to get pregnant, I was like, this should be
it's gonna be a breeze. Yeah.
like I'm in the best shape of my life. I make that a priority, this, that, and the other. And we started trying, I think in 2020, like late 2020, before we moved to Wilmington, and just month after month, we're not getting pregnant. And I was like, this is weird. And so didn't see doctors in Charlotte or anything. I was like, most of them say give it a year, which now I'm hearing is like too long.
Crazy. I feel like it's normally 6 months, right?
Yeah. So at the time they were
was
telling
like
us
a
about
year.
a year.
Okay.
And then if you're still not pregnant, come back and see us and let's see what's going on.
Well, and it's not like you were older or like considered a
So
geriatric
I think I was
pregnancy at the time.
28 when we first started.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess a little older, but not
No,
really.
but not
right?
geriatric.
Yeah.
It's not geriatric, but in there or
Or
advanced
wait,
maternal
so
age.
it would have been 28. Let me think. Phil and I got married 30. So it's 30.
Okay, I think 35 is like the cutoff, right?
I learned that this year.
Okay, yes, I do remember you telling me that when you had
Geriatric.
Dr. Phil.
We're there now with Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Which is not my husband, to be clear.
It's my baby.
My baby.
Yes, because
We'll unpack that.
yeah, well, so oh my gosh, okay.
So anyways, once we moved to Wilmington, though, got a new OB-GYN here, and she actually specialized in fertility and uncovering if you're struggling, but she wasn't like the
that's
full-blown fertility clinic type thing.
Okay.
So I was like, let me meet with her. We'll see what's going on. So we ran the initial test and everything came back normal. And so she said, well, let's put you on. I think it's called Femara, but it's essentially like Clomid and it makes you like super ovulate.
Even though your ovulation was fine.
Ovulation was fine.
And were you tracking at home, like your ovulation?
I was trying,
Yeah.
but it was kind of like all over the place. So that may
Okay.
have been part of it. But yeah, so we did, I think 3 rounds of that where I would like super ovulate and then nothing would happen. Wouldn't get pregnant. I'd have like 5 to 6 mature eggs that could potentially ovulate. So like running the risk of getting multiples, all that kind of stuff, and just didn't get
And
pregnant.
this is not considered IUI or IVF. Okay.
So it's just like a
Fertility,
pill that
yeah.
you take and it makes that happen. And then they do ultrasounds to measure how big,
To like make sure you have a good chance.
like the eggs are getting or whatever.
Wow.
And so we did that. And then after 3 months of that and still not getting pregnant, she was like, okay, it's been a year. Let's see what's going on. And they sent me to a place in Raleigh. And so did all the testing there. My husband did his testing, came back unexplained. They have no idea why we couldn't
So
get
all the
pregnant.
tests were fine.
Yep. What? And that, like, I think any aspect of infertility is super frustrating. And I've never been on the side of like low ovarian count or issues with sperm quality and that kind of thing. I'm sure those is just, it's just as frustrating. But hearing like unexplained, you just sit there and think, well, what do we do?
There's nothing I
Right.
can do.
You feel hopeless because
Yeah.
it's like, well, what way do we?
So you're saying I'm
There's
perfectly
no
healthy. You don't know
yeah.
why I can't get pregnant. Yeah.
So how can you help me?
Right.
Yeah.
And what was so funny through all of this is like growing up, I was never a kid person. I love my kids. Right.
Fair. I mean, fair. Not everybody.
Like I'm not your girl to hit up to come babysit your kids.
You're
Love
not
you. She
her.
knows this. She knows this. Like I'll help out in a pinch, but I'm not your first call.
At least you're honest, man. Like, I get it.
We're like yin and yang because I am that. I'm
You're
like,
like,
why
"Wake
didn't
me
you
up,
call
Pete."
me?
We balance each other.
And even the other day, I was like, they were talking about going to Disney on Ice, and I was like, who's watching Banks? And you're like, I think my mom will come. I'm like, well, can I keep him? I need a baby overnight.
So like we're leaving banks with them.
Are you going in Raleigh?
Yeah.
Me are too.
Phil bought the tickets while we were on girls' weekend.
I saw they were coming. My friend got them, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Ross loved Disney on Ice when we went there. Like
That checks. No, that checks.
So Kristoff was doing this whole set, and he launched off this like literal half pipe ramp, and Ross was like, "Let's go!" He felt like a hockey game.
Evan.
Or so he's like, "My boy sent it off."
He's like, let me go get my skis. Oh my! I bet he gave him a standing O. Wonderful performance.
Plus,
Anyway,
yeah.
So sorry. All right.
So
So
me growing up, like honestly, I didn't know if I wanted kids. And then when Phil and I started talking about it, when we first started, I was like, okay, maybe I'll be good with one. He was kind of more in the 2 boat. And then when you start trying and you can't get pregnant,
you want more?
oh man,
Sorry,
that
keep
becomes
pushing.
your one thing, right? Like I wanted a baby so bad.
Yeah.
And it was shattering. And so we started with a fertility specialist after we heard like unexplained. They did all their testing. They said, well, let's start low invasive IUI medicated. And so you do shots, the hormone shots in your stomach. And then it's essentially like the turkey baster that everyone's seen. And so we did a round of that. The first round failed, didn't get pregnant. did a second round and I actually ended up pregnant. And I found out, I think it was like a week before we were leaving to go to Peru,
Oh my God.
that I was pregnant. And we were super excited. And when you first get pregnant, they like at the clinics, and I don't know if they do this in normal pregnancy, but they test your HCG levels to make
They
sure
don't.
They don't. Okay.
You aren't allowed to go in until like 8 to 10 weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they do it at like 5 weeks, I think it is. They make you come in, take a pregnancy test, and then they do one like 24 or 48 hours later to make sure it's doubling. And I remember sitting in the airport and my first pass at numbers was not doubling. And I was about to board a flight to Peru, and they were like, look, if you weren't already booked this ticket, we would be telling you not to travel overseas right now. It could be that you're going to have a miscarriage because your numbers aren't doubling. It could be perfectly fine, or this could be an ectopic pregnancy, which is, I mean, like,
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
very dangerous. And with you being in Peru, we have no way of monitoring that. If something does go wrong, like, you need to be able to be taken care of. And we were visiting my stepbrother who works with the government. So thankfully we felt like we were in good hands. We still went. I was perfectly fine there. And I think at that point, by the time we got home, I was like 6 or 7 weeks pregnant. And everything was fine. Had no signs of anything wrong.
So you went back to check and they did an ultrasound or?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we saw a heartbeat, everything at like 7 weeks, I think. The week after we got back, we had our first ultrasound, saw a heartbeat. Everything looked fine. And then you have your 12-week scan at maternal fetal medicine, because when you're going through treatments for fertility, they automatically send you there because you're a high-risk pregnancy. So went there for 12 weeks. And I remember standing in the kitchen with my husband before we went. And I think we were like the first appointment at 8 a.m. And I was standing in the kitchen and I was like, I just have this bad feeling. And I'd had no signs, like no bleeding, no nothing. And at this point, we already knew it was a boy. We had taken sneak peek tests.
Yeah, the little arm thing. Yes,
the arm
yes,
thing.
yes.
So we knew it was a boy. And we got to our 12-week appointment, went back, checked in, and within like 2 seconds of her doing the ultrasound, the nurse, she immediately turned the thing off and she was like, I'm so sorry. He's not here. Like, there's no heartbeat. Ugh. And I think it just happened so quickly that I couldn't process it.
You're like, you didn't see it that quickly and turned
And
it
that's
off.
what it was. She like left the room, left us in there, and she was like, the doctor will be in, because it was just a tech. And I think that just really like, it was so abrupt. I couldn't process like why she had just left me and didn't like at least show me on the screen or.
I don't think they're legally allowed to.
Yeah,
it
and
has
like
to be the
being
doctor,
out
yeah.
of it now, I can see
Yeah,
that.
but of course that's hard for you to
But
process.
I feel like they should say that. Just like, I'm so sorry, I'm not seeing anything.
I'm not allowed
it was
to
very abrupt.
The
Yeah.
doctor has to come in and he'll explain everything.
Because you're not legally allowed to diagnose
Absolutely.
ultrasound. And so that would be a diagnosis.
If you don't see anything.
No, if
Depending
you're
on your level.
you have to be
Yeah.
a doctor. And same thing with x-rays. I only know this because I
Yeah, 'cause
was
you-
x-ray
yeah.
certified. So like I could see something in an x-ray, but I couldn't
Give
say
a
it.
professional opinion on it.
So, but still, I would have those same feelings of like, well, can you check
Tell me
again?
something.
Like, can you even can you check again?
Well,
Or-
and I even, so the doctor came and we talked through it and everything. And so the very next day, they told me essentially I had the option to either like try and let it naturally pass or have a DNC. And given that my body wasn't showing any signs, I was like, let's just do the DNC. I need to like,
How
have to do
so
this.
you had could they tell?
so
Okay.
so we went to the hospital the next day.
Okay.
They were able to get me in, and I made them actually do another ultrasound before they took me back for surgery, because I just like,
I don't blame you.
I need confirmation. That felt very abrupt. I didn't see anything. And when they did that one, they were actually able to tell he stopped growing at 9 weeks. So it had been 3 weeks and my body just didn't recognize that I was having a miscarriage.
Oh my god.
so you're like, how long would it take for it to
Exactly.
naturally
Yeah.
miscarry?
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell that on the initial ultrasound, or
I don't know if they could, or she just didn't take the time to do so.
okay.
Like, I didn't really ask the question. I was so in shock that she was
Yeah.
just like, there's no heartbeat. So it could have been that it was the combination of that and how little he was, not measuring at 12 weeks, that she automatically knew. But I don't think they took the time to actually do all the in-depth measures.
That makes sense.
So when the doctor came in, they didn't do any further. Really?
No, she just sat in there, like, Phil, she was like, the nurse was like, you can get dressed, the doctor will be in. And Phil and I just sat there. And I remember, like, they let me walk out a back door because I was like, inconsol. I mean, we were planning to go to work that day. I had to call my boss and tell him I was miscarrying. Like, and my boss, his wife at the time, was pregnant as well. She was actually due 2 weeks before I was with a boy. And so we were kind of going through it together. And they were angels during that. But it was just so abrupt that I like couldn't process. So they didn't do any more scans. She just came and talked to us and was like, here's what's next.
That's
Yeah.
so awful.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where, like, I've always been very open about our fertility journey and the miscarriage and stuff. But I didn't realize how many of my friends had had a miscarriage until I had one, because no one talked about it.
It's hard to
does.
process.
It's sad.
I feel like
There's no shame to it.
Like,
I think
on social
it's
media at
changing.
least.
Yes.
But I think it's 1 in 4
Yeah.
pregnancies and miscarriage. Is that, and I had no idea that
Me
was
either.
so, because
Prevalent,
no
yeah.
one talks about it. And
don't.
granted, I do think most of them maybe happen before people know they're actually pregnant, but
Agreed. Yeah.
still, I mean, I know friends that have gone through, thankfully I haven't walked through that, but I've had friends that have, like, multiple friends that have had miscarriages, and I just never knew it was so common.
And no shame to keeping it private, right?
No,
like, that's your
yeah.
choice. But it was just like, I had no idea, and I wish I could have been there for them had I known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you have been there for them? I think that's something I always want to know for people that are walking through that. Do you want them to ask how you are? Do you want them to give you space? Depends on the person.
I think it depends on the person. So I will say, Rebecca actually did one of the best things that I got, which I don't know if I've ever told you this, but her and Ross made us like a care basket almost.
Oh.
And it had like it had things in it for Phil, but I remember it had this cozy blanket in there. It had like bath bombs and all these kind of things that just brought comfort. I think there was even a gift card for a DoorDash or something like that. But it was just the simple thought of like, we see you. And it was dropped at the door. It's not like I had to talk to them.
Yeah.
But it was the acknowledgement of like, we're hurting with you. And here's some comfort. Some people gave us meals. My mom, of course, like... the day of my surgery, I was like, you don't need to come.
But that's just what moms do.
She was like, I need to put eyes on you, and like drove from Moorhead and just sat on the porch and made me eat and just sat there with me. It was hard though. Like, I remember my husband, the day we found out that I miscarried, I remember hearing him walk in the laundry room, like our bedrooms across the house, and I heard him walk in the laundry room and just heard him break down crying, telling his parents that I had lost the baby. And and like, Phil is not a super emotional person at all.
Yeah.
We always joke that Ross and I are like the mush in the group chat. There's Rebecca and Phil. They're like, hey. But yeah, like, heard him like physically upset.
Oh, that just like breaks my heart.
He was the
for
one
you
that
guys.
told us too.
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm so sorry that you had to walk through that.
I mean, so many years distance now, I can like talk about it. Before it was just like,
It's so hard to process, and it's like a raw feeling. And then when you
is.
talk about it, you have to live through it again. And if you
Yeah.
haven't fully processed it yourself, like,
it takes time.
it does. I remember when we lost our third, I came out of the bathroom and I got in the bed with Phoebe, and I was like, I just lost a child. Like, that's
I think about that all the time.
crazy. Like, that's,
Yeah.
that's how and then I was like,
But that's how
I
it
just
is.
put my kid to sleep.
Yep.
And then and I'm one of those people that I don't talk about it, but so like I get both sides to it.
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's so hard. I'm so sorry. During this time, where was your relationship with Jesus?
So this was when, like, very much present, but I wouldn't say practicing. So believed in God, knew He was there. I was struggling.
Yeah.
And during this whole battle, I was the type of person who it was really hard for me to hear from friends and even family members that they were pregnant. I didn't have that joy for them. I have girlfriends who've walked in fertility and they can show up at your baby shower and be so over the moon happy for you. I was not that person. I was hurting and I was angry. Like, I couldn't understand. In my mind, I was like, I've done everything right. Phil and I waited till we were financially ready. We had a home. We're married. I've taken care of my body for all these years. Why can't I get pregnant? But you're letting people out there who aren't doing these
Just
things.
like willy-nilly, let's get
they
pregnant.
sneeze and they get pregnant. And truly,
Sorry.
This one. Just kidding.
Not you.
But that's what it was. It's like,
That's so hard to walk that.
it was. And I think what made it even harder is I was so mad at myself that I couldn't be happy for them. And it was, I mean, I even had a family member who so she got pregnant before I got pregnant the first time. And I found out, I think a month after she gave birth to her first child, that I was finally pregnant with our baby boy. And when I found out she was pregnant, I was so in the pit of being upset that I couldn't get pregnant that I couldn't celebrate for her.
No.
And it broke my heart. And now looking back, like, that's something I'll always regret, right? Is that I couldn't be like, even when we would have dinner with them while she was pregnant, I couldn't ask, like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
I couldn't talk about it. And it's not that I was unhappy that she was pregnant. I was just so sad for myself. And I couldn't understand it.
I mean, I'm looking at you and I'm like, I think it's incredible that you're even able to still go around. So I think you're being really hard on yourself and saying that you have, I know you can't take away
Hindsight,
regret.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's incredible. Everybody grieves differently.
They do.
And you're
there's a
allowed
lot of grace
you're
there.
allowed to feel.
And she totally
those-
got that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, for myself, and like the second time around, I was so much better about it. But when you're in it, man.
You did the best you could.
You could.
Yeah.
And if you were giving 100% that you could give, that
Yeah.
was all.
And that's
then
all you got.
That's all you got.
Because there were like baby showers I couldn't go to, and it was just like I had to protect my emotional well-being.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, everyone just handles it so differently. And I remember after the miscarriage, I used to go upstairs in our room above the garage. There's like a bedroom up there. And I would go up there before my husband would get up and do like my quiet time. And I think at the time I was doing a study called Waymaker by Ann Voskamp. And I can't remember one of the questions, but I still, like, it sticks out in my mind. I remember sitting on the couch just bawling because I felt so alone. And not that my husband wasn't supportive or my family wasn't, like, everyone was in it with me, but no one could feel the pit of grief that I was in other than God. And it was like, I felt like I couldn't be honest with anyone about like how angry I was that other people could get pregnant and I couldn't.
It was like one of those things where you're like, I can't say this out
can't say
loud.
it.
When in reality, it's when you do
Or I would
say it out
and
loud.
be so upset with myself that I was being that nasty.
But it brings
Yeah.
light and healing.
Right.
For
And
you
it's
to
not
get it
even
out.
nasty. It's
It's
not.
not.
It's human,
It's
right?
human.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I think that's when my faith really got so strong because like I was so weak in that moment that I had nothing else to give other than leaning on him.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, I think that's what brought me back to truly talking to God again.
So would you call that your pit?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say to you in those moments?
So it was funny. I was going through this, like looking through all the things I was praying during that time.
Oh my God.
So this goes back to when I was like trying to conceive.
Oh, it just like gave me chills.
And it's like the things I'm grateful for in my prayer request. And I, like one of the things back in May of 2022, hope to keep trying and to release my plans for his.
You do care about people. Look
I
at
do,
your
yeah.
prayer request for other people.
It's other people.
during that time.
Yeah. And like I
So
still cared for them, but it was like,
You weren't happy.
you were in it, the thick of it.
You were
in the thick of it,
You
right?
can't see anything other
Yeah.
than grief.
yep. And I like, it was just finding those things. So like I miscarried in April. Less than a month was Mother's Day. And so the prayer request on Mother's Day, like I remember I sobbed that Mother's Day. My sweet husband still got me a Mother's Day gift.
Oh,
I know. And my mom had lost her mom that year before, so it was her first Mother's Day without her mom. So it was just this whole
Oh, just a grief.
grieving fest. But what was funny is, so I miscarried, I think the first week of April in 2022. And then I had it written down here, and I brought this because of this. On May 12th, I talked to my mom every morning at like 8 a.m. religiously. We're like the Gilmore Girls. There's something wrong there.
Are you guys enmeshed?
Yeah, like we'll unpack that later. Like a psychologist would have a field day with us. There's something wrong.
Hey, if you're both happy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you know, poor Beckett. She's in for a wild ride. But I wrote down, Mom had a dream last night that God told her to write this date down. This time next year, her daughter would give her a grandbaby. And this was a month after my miscarriage. And then literally in March of 2023, so not even a year later, I had Beckett.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just those things where I I remember in that pregnancy, I kept praying every day because the next, like the day that she had that dream was the day that I had my post-op follow-up visit. Because before you can start IVF, which is what we ended up doing next, they have to do, I forget what it's called, but they essentially like clean out your uterus with water and make sure that none of the remaining tissue is in there from prior pregnancies.
And look at
that
the
would impede
scripture too.
She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the God who sees me. For she said, I have now seen the one who sees me. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Little God winks, right?
Big God winks.
Yeah, I know.
And that was from Hagar, because she was the first woman to name God the God who sees me.
In Genesis.
And she was pregnant with, I can't remember the baby's name, but she was pregnant with a child because Abraham and Sarah couldn't get pregnant.
Yeah, she was the handmaid.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
So they went around their
Written on that
infertility.
page.
They went around their infertility
And had and impregnated. Is it
and
oh gosh, what's his
impregnated
name?
their
Oh, 'cause
Esau, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Ishmael.
Ishmael. Oh, in Israel. Okay.
We messy.
It's been a few years.
But that's wild
Interesting that
that,
it's on that page.
and it's
No.
because of infertility.
Incredible, because she was older, right? That's what. Yeah.
Well, she had been going
Through it years
through
and years and
infertility
years.
for
Really?
I think decades
Yeah.
probably.
Oh my God.
But back then, that's how you left an inheritance, and so she
With
was
the
like
children, yeah.
the handmaiden, or I guess a slave.
Yeah.
And so Sarah was like, get her pregnant, and that will be our baby.
Well, that's the basis of The Handmaid's Tale. That
Yeah.
whole show.
Oh, I didn't know
is
that.
from Hagar. Yeah. Yeah. That's what they use
that makes
as.
sense there.
It's pretty crazy. But that's just a warped way of looking at it.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
Wow, I'm so glad you brought that. That's
I know.
I know. It's funny. I was like going back through this, and some of this is like, it's hysterical to read, just given like where we're going to go with this. But some of the things of me saying, you know, strength, less anxiety and fear, like me being able to let go, directional God from God on what to do next. I've been praying that for 3 years before I finally like,
It's all clicked.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And that just shows the persistence. Like you have to be patient.
Yeah.
his timing is
timing.
really what, and we just can't as humans understand that,
No.
Yeah.
especially in the thick of it.
No. Yeah. That was May of 2022.
May of 2022.
June 1st, I started IVF. So essentially took all of April and May off from doing any treatments. Let's recalibrate. Because I had always, like, when we first started, Phil and I had the conversation of, I don't know if I want to do IVF.
Yeah.
It's expensive. It's a lot on your body. What if it doesn't work and we go through that and all that money? And I think at that point, I knew I was meant to be a mom. I was like, we have to do it. And he was on board fully.
I remember after the IUI, because usually they'll have you try it again. And
Right,
I
and I
remember
was like,
you being
no.
like, no, we're full sending.
Yeah, because
This
I think
round.
your rate, if I remember correctly, with IUI is like an 8% chance, or it's something really
that's
low.
low. Yeah.
And I might be understating that, but I think it's pretty low. And then IVF was much, much higher. And I was like, if we're going to keep spending and I'm going to keep doing these hormones, let's do it. So we did IVF. And typically with IVF, you can choose to freeze your embryos and do genetic testing on them to make sure that they're normal, because they did find out with my miscarriage that it was a chromosomal abnormality. I think it was like chromosome 16 or something. I can't remember. And so you can choose to go that route, but then it further delays things like an extra month. And I was like, I'm not getting any younger. Let's do this. So we actually did a fresh transfer. So her egg was not tested, or the embryo wasn't tested for genetic testing. I didn't know if it was boy or girl. They just took the best graded embryo and implanted it. And we said a prayer and it worked. Right? And I actually confirmed with the doctor, found out on my birthday that I was pregnant with Beckett.
Oh my gosh.
It's awesome.
Me the chills.
Oh, when your birthday.
We all went to dinner. I think there was a group of 10 or 12 of us. We went to dinner, and I remember they had known that we were kind of getting the test that week, and I walked up behind Rebecca and Ross, and I was like, it worked.
Oh.
And Ross was like, what? And I was like, sure. Because we weren't telling the rest of the
Yeah.
people.
Because you were still so early. Right?
Yeah, I was 5 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So did you ever, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, maybe we did, but with IVF, you know how some people in the church are very against IVF
Yeah.
because it says we're potentially playing God.
Right.
Did you ever feel that way with it?
I did not. I'm not one who digs into that too much either. I think there's science for a reason.
I think so too.
I think God has his hand in it. And I think children are the most beautiful creation that we've been given. They're pure innocence, right? And like, there's such a blessing to this world. Why would we not want that?
Yeah.
So I think my boundary too is like, I've never been one that's going to say, well, let's go with that embryo because it's a boy and I really want a boy. That was a boundary for myself, right or wrong for other people. But that felt like playing God to me.
Yeah.
I wanted whatever he was blessing me with.
Yeah.
So let the doctors decide which embryo is the healthiest, most viable, that's going to
Stick.
Yeah.
And
He provided.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I never viewed it that way of kind of like cheating the system. I think it's a blessing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've never really thought about that or gone down that line of thinking, because I've never heard of an example of the devil or our enemy ever creating life. He's always trying to take it away or destroy it. And so I think what a gift that God has given us in modern medicine and science to be able to do that. Like, gives me chills just thinking about it, because, and you can see how spirit led this entire process
And
was for you.
IVF is what brought you closer to God.
Absolutely. Like, I
So-
could not have
like,
made it
just-
through that journey without him. Like,
Yeah.
I just, it was a dark time. And I just remember the verses of like, when you're weak, he is strong. When you're weak, he is strong. Like, he is my strength through this. Just keep going.
And I know a lot of people like place the pressure on families going through infertility. And I think a lot of the argument from some Christians against IVF is like, well, there's tons of kids to adopt. And it's like, you cannot place that pressure on someone's family.
That
Of course,
system's
we
so
would.
hard too.
It is.
It's expensive.
That's not
There's so much red tape.
right. And you think that's the easiest
answer, right?
The answer.
Well,
Yeah.
and your path is different than somebody else's path.
And adoption's beautiful.
It is.
Here for it. That's wonderful.
But I think he wanted specifically Beckett and Big
wanted
Soul
Beckett,
on this.
And God calls people to adoption for a reason. So some families don't feel called to that, and that is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's no one right path.
No,
Yeah.
there isn't.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm just so glad that it worked, because and
angel
on your
gave.
first try
Yeah.
with IVF.
Thank God. Whew.
But okay, so you had Beckett.
Had that
And
guy.
how was your pregnancy?
Fabulous.
Oh my gosh,
Your
okay.
girl was
Yeah.
born to be pregnant. That was a funny thing. I think God
Amazing.
was like, you've had enough.
Yeah.
We're going to let you cruise. Great pregnancy, very quick labor, like water broke,
Amazing.
born in 5 hours.
Shut
Like,
up.
yeah, fabulous. Like,
Precipitous labor?
I was like, your girl will birth all the babies.
Oh
Like,
my-
I think
you're
it's
like,
such
just
a
give
cool
them to me.
experience. Yeah.
When it's easy.
When it's easy.
It's cool regardless, but yeah.
So you had Beckett, and I remember you just said earlier that you were considering maybe one.
So I was one, Philip was two.
Was that still the case after Beckett was born?
I think I was more leaning towards two. Philip was like, we go with one.
he was like, that was emotion.
Yeah.
Well, and she was also like a year maybe when you guys started talking about.
Yeah, she was about a year old when we started saying, like, do we want to do this again? And part of me, like,
And was she a hard baby? Yeah. Okay. I knew Banks was, but I couldn't remember.
I
if
don't
I
have
could.
easy babies.
So she was colicky too.
Humbled.
Okay.
Beckett had colic. She had reflux.
See, God does not give both easy pregnancies and easy babies. It's either hard pregnancy, easy baby.
Or easy pregnancy. For me, it was easy pregnancy, hard labor and delivery. Like epidurals don't work on me. So
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
just-
natural, baby. It's something.
Opposite. Horrible pregnancy.
Yeah.
Wonderful labor and babies.
Easy babies.
Yep.
Or easy in the sense of
I mean, they're still hard.
yeah, but then it's
They
don't
sleep.
have they don't have colic.
They don't have colic. I would pull my hair out. I don't know. The Lord got you through that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, so Beckett.
So Beckett, I think with Beckett, hers was probably the same caliber as Banks, but I wanted Beckett so badly, and we had tried so hard for her that I had a little more grace in it.
Yeah.
And it was also one baby.
It was one baby too.
Yeah.
Yes, good point. And I think with Beckett, like, we got through it, right? So around the age of her being one, Phil and I started talking about it, and I think a lot he was good with one. I was on the fence about two. I think part of the reason I was on the fence too is I didn't want to do IVF again.
Yeah.
Not that we couldn't, but it's just like it's a roller
It's
coaster.
like a second full-time job.
It is.
And then physically, it's not like you feel fine and dandy going
I
through.
honestly, like,
you didn't have
I
any
wasn't mad.
problems?
No.
Okay.
Did you have to go to Raleigh for all of the stuff?
So the monitoring appointments, thankfully, I could do most of them here, but the actual procedure of like the embryo transfer, I did have to go to Raleigh. But all the shots, like Philip would do them for me, or I would.
That's
do them.
good. Okay.
But it is a lot of shots. I mean, like even with Beckett, I think through the first 6 weeks, you have to do a shot, and it's like a 2.5-inch needle in your butt. Not great.
Like before you had her, or even while you were
While
pregnant?
you're pregnant.
Oh wow.
So as soon as the transfer happens, you do it for 6 weeks after that most of the time.
Oh my god, to like up your chances of
Staying
okay.
pregnant.
Oh,
And all before that, you're doing shots in your stomach leading up to it. So I think part of me was just like, I don't want to pay for it again.
yeah. Did you have to pay all out of pocket?
Thankfully, our insurance covered a portion of it. I
But
think
still
out of pocket,
expensive.
we paid like $10,000 though.
Oh,
The meds alone are
Girl.
insane. Yeah, and
goodness.
praise God that we're in a place that we can do it. And I think about that was another thing, like friends and family members who are getting pregnant and all this stuff. I was like, well, he gave me this because he's afforded us the means to be able to do it too.
yeah.
Like that kind of helped me reshape of like, he's graced us with the means to handle this.
What a lovely.
He's given you
flip,
everything
though.
you need. But then, there are some families that
who aren't as
really
fortunate,
can't. Yeah.
right? And so I tried to flip it in a way of at least I've been blessed that we can do it.
You're trying to find something to
lining.
hold on to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did all that. And so we had started talking about it. And so at the time, Becca was like a year old. That was March of 24. Yeah. I guess it was like May, the weekend of Mother's Day. I've been having like the weirdest period. And it like came for 2 days. It was very, very light.
All the
And
implantation.
Then it went away, and I
waiting.
had no clue about this because, like, obviously I don't get pregnant by myself. Good times. So I was on the phone with my friend Lita, who I used to work with. And I was like, do you need a giggle today? Because at the time we were still working together, and we would like call and decompress. She was like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, I think I might be pregnant. I was like, but there's no way. And she was like, how long have you been feeling this? And I was like, a couple days. She was like, dear, please be an adult and get by a pregnancy test. And I think part of me was just like, no. Like I literally
There's
have a
no
1-year-old.
way. Yeah.
And so went to Walmart, was going to buy one. Phil had come home for lunch and he was like, just go get one. And they had him like locked behind that cabinet. I was like, well, if it's locked, I'm not going to do it. So left, didn't buy one. And Lita and I are on the phone again. She was like, go buy a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
So went to the drugstore, got one, and we're like on the phone. And she was asking me like, if this is positive, how are you going to feel? And
Yeah.
I was like, not good. Like, no.
That is so wild.
Even though you were so like doing everything with Beckett
To get
is it just
pregnant
because it
before.
was so close and you just weren't ready?
Or
I
it wasn't
think-
your idea.
I think it wasn't part of my plan. I was grieving the time that I had with her. Like I'd only had her for a year. Like what does that mean for her? Also, I was finally like, you guys know how long postpartum it takes to get your
Yes.
like your groove back.
I've heard it takes
Solid 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, it
Yeah.
was 2. Yeah.
Like I was finally starting to feel like myself again. And I think that was part of it. And so Lita and I are on the phone, and within like 2 seconds, that thing was positive, and I was like, shit. Like I just remember being on the phone, and she's of course like, so how do you want me to respond right now? Yeah. So she found out I was pregnant before my husband.
So funny.
Happens.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So that night Phil came home, and I handed Becca the pregnancy test, and he was like walking through the door, and she walked up to him with it and handed it to him. He was like, oh. He was like, you're pregnant? And I just started crying. And I was like,
what are we
I don't know if I'm happy.
Those are very normal feelings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that either. I think maybe because
You
there
feel
is
bad.
so much infertility
Yeah.
out there, and you don't. But you've
Well, and
literally
I've been through it, right?
walked through it.
I think that was part of it too, is I was so angry of like, God, why now? Like, why not 3 years ago when I tried and
I was
tried and
begging
tried
for it.
Why now when it was like not on my radar? I didn't think we could get pregnant without help. And you're like,
He's like,
I
"It's
think
my
because
time, baby."
I think because you trusted in him.
Yeah.
Like this, what you wrote in this book
right?
was
He said, I'm going to deliver, right? And so it was found out we were leaving for my mom's house 2 days later for Mother's Day weekend. And Phil kind of asked me, well, are we going to tell them it's really early? And I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to hide it all weekend.
Yeah.
My stepdad had already texted saying, like, what type of beer do you want at the house? And I was like, I'm good. Which I don't drink much anyways. But
that's everybody's first reaction. Though.
everyone's like,
If you like turn down a drink and you're a woman, people are like,
Oh.
why?
Yeah.
You got something to tell me? No, I just don't want to drink tonight.
yeah.
They're like, I'm just into mocktails, okay?
Yeah.
It's a trend.
Let me live. Yeah. So we got to their house, and Mom and I were giving Beckett a bath, and Phil was in the kitchen with my Uncle Steven and my stepdad, and they were chatting. And funny enough, they were asking Phil like if 2 was on her radar, and Mom and I were sitting there bathing the baby, and I looked at my mom, and I looked at her and I said, I need you to calm your reactions right now. I have something to tell you. And she just looks at me and starts crying, and she's like, are you? And I was like, I am. I was like, I need you to calm how you react though, because I'm still processing.
Yeah.
And she just starts bawling. And she was like, Tara, this is your redemption, baby.
Oh.
And then come full circle, it ended up being a baby boy. And so she was like, this is your Earthside boy. This is your baby. And now we have Banks. And I'll tell you, he's better than you could.
He really is an angel baby.
Oh my gosh.
He is.
Could eat him alive.
He's so sweet. He is
Yeah.
so sweet.
And I say this, like, Beckett was the most prayed for child on this planet. Like, unreal. The obsession with that child from, like, my dad's side of the family, my mom's girlfriends, like, the amount of prayers over that baby. I think that was part of it, too, is I was like, are they going to love him as much as her?
Yeah.
Because everyone's so obsessed with her. And same with me, right? Like, I was so scared, and I'm sure anyone having 2 feels that way or more. Am I going to love them as much as my first one? I felt that my whole pregnancy. So I had that guilt. Is Beckett going to be upset? And so I think I never fully connected with him in my pregnancy. But that little boy now, oh my goodness. He's just all smiles. He's so happy to be here. He's like the sweetest thing, and he has humbled me so much.
Yeah.
Like I've had to let go of so much control because of him.
He's teaching you things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was colicky too. So he's angel baby now.
And now, so the first 4 months of Banks' life, and I knew what we were dealing with because we had it with Beckett. I think what was different with Banks is I had postpartum rage. I did not have that with Beckett. And thankfully, I recognized it at my 6 weeks appointment when I saw the doctor. She was like, "So you look good. You doing good? You seem good." And I was like, "No."
You're like, I don't feel good.
I'm well.
She was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "It's either gonna be my husband or the dog."
That's so. Nobody talks about the freaking dogs.
Why am I like?
You're the exception.
I felt so bad for Arlo. Like,
No.
we know.
I was like, Luke, if you lick that paw one more time,
I forgot we have the same. My dog's
you gonna learn today.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. It's
Go
us
get
just
the
being like. Evan
Oh my
literally told
God.
the dogs yesterday. He goes, "I'm gonna open the door, and I never want to see you again.
Don't even look
Don't
at
come
me.
back."
I'm telling you.
He's like,
Those
"Leave."
poor dogs too.
I know.
And then
They're
you
like-
feel the guilt of that.
I know. And you're like, I'm so mean.
Snowballs.
Dude, with
Yeah.
the colicky baby, and then the dog.
Oh,
if
yeah.
they made
And the
one
2-year-old?
noise,
Yeah.
ooh,
Everybody would have to move out. Like, just leave me here with the baby, and the rest of
My
y'all.
husband blessed him. I was mean.
oh my
And I'm not a
gosh.
yeller at all. Like,
Were you yelling?
it was
Oh my
bad.
goodness. Well, but I mean, postpartum rage is a real thing.
She was real. Like, there's one day I literally called my mom. I couldn't get Banks to stop crying. It had been 2 hours, and all I wanted to do was pee and have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And I called her, and I was like, I need you to come. I know I'm not going to hurt him, but, like,
I'm scared.
I
There's
just
a
had
lot
to-
of rage there.
I just had to lay him in his crib and walk away.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you need to call Rebecca? Is it like that? Or and I was like, no. Like, I know I'm not going to hurt him. I'm not in a good place.
I'm just,
though.
I'm like teetering.
Like, you always joke when you leave the hospital and they're like, don't shake your baby. And you're like,
Why would I shake my baby?
Bullshit. Why would I shake my baby? Oh, I understand why you warn people that.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to do it, but I get it.
But yeah.
And that's what colic does. Yeah, it was brutal. And so thankfully it was silent reflux, which was Beckett. He's still on Nexium. Like, we're having to wean him off now. We tried to do it a month ago and it just couldn't. Yeah. So he's weaning off of it now. But when I saw my doctor at the 6-week appointment, she was like asking that stuff. She was like, so I don't want to see you on the news. And I was like, me either.
What pharmaceutical would you like?
So, yeah, exactly. We have a spinning wheel here. No.
Candy?
And like, I've always been one where I try to like manage it myself, right? No, there wasn't.
Oh,
Sometimes you need help.
I was
We
on,
needed some of it.
I was on 150 Zoloft when I was pregnant.
Yeah,
Because I had pregnancy anxiety and
real.
depression.
Yeah.
And then I had really bad postpartum anxiety with Noah, but luckily I did not have it with Forrest.
bad,
So,
Isn't
but
it
it is.
weird?
Yeah.
And see, I thought
weird.
my rage was like because I had a boy and maybe like the hormones and testosterone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
I feel
making
everybody's
things
You
up
were
in my
body
mind.
sleep deprived. You had a toddler.
I was not in a good place.
Yeah, and
you had a young toddler too.
Yeah.
Like
Brutal.
it's hard.
Yeah. But now we have parted the clouds. We made it out. Yeah. We're living. Yeah.
So-
8 months later.
You were working.
I was working full time.
When did you go back after having Banks?
So I had bangs January 14th, and I went back to work 3 months later. I think I took 13 weeks this time.
Okay.
But some of that was like unpaid, some was PTO. So jumped right back in. I think I'd been back at work maybe a month and a half before I had to travel
Oh.
for the first time for a client meeting, which like it's fine, but that's hard, right?
Yeah. Were you pumping?
No, so I've
Okay.
always struggled with breastfeeding. That was another part of it too.
Yeah.
With Beckett, I just really struggled. Second time around, I was like, if it doesn't take in 2 weeks, we're out.
Yeah. There you go.
So thankfully, wasn't having that to deal with either. But like leaving your little ones at 4 months
hard.
old, yeah, for an overnight trip. So had that. Went back to work in April of this year, and that's where we are now.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like you've had some big news.
Yeah.
Since we last talked.
Right. Yep.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So I quit my job. I had been rock on, right?
Stay home.
Never thought. Well, TBD. We're learning that real quick.
We're just dipping our toes in the water for a minute.
So I had actually been with this company. This coming January would have been 11 years.
Oh my gosh.
Some iteration of this company. Started with them when I moved to Charlotte. Then we got acquired, and then it was a merger. And so there's a lot of pain in that.
Yes.
I'm sure anyone who's been through it, right? And thankfully, like, always kept my job, had good standing with my bosses. Like, truly, the folks I've worked with over the past 10 years were like family, and they still are. Like, we still talk. It's fine. I left on great terms. But it was funny. I was digging back through this too. Like, been praying for 3 years, helped me to find passion for my job again. And I was a person, especially in the field I was working with of healthcare and wellness, I wanted to help people be better.
Yeah.
And I think I lost sight of that somewhere along the way where it felt so corporate. And that, I'm not blaming that on myself or the company or anything, but I could feel that this wasn't my calling anymore, and I'd become burnout, and I was a little jaded on what we were doing, and it wasn't serving me anymore, at least not on what I thought was right. And so we were oddly talking about this. So my husband, my parents were encouraging me to quit. And I'm not a person that just like quits without a plan.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. I've worked since I was 14. I've always had a job.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I mean, I worked in tobacco fields. I worked at an old country grill, like held all the bizarre jobs, worked all through college. And that's because like, I grew up in the mentality of like, we had to work. My parents got divorced. My mom had to work. And so right, wrong, or indifferent, I've always had this mentality about being a stay-at-home mom of like, am I failing? And that's a personal thing to me, not other stay-at-home moms. That is such a hard job. I don't
so
like
hard.
to be clear, my kids are still in daycare right now. I've been out of work for a week and they're still in daycare. And so I just had this mentality, and it was more so internalized myself of like, what are people going to think if I quit without a backup plan?
Oh.
And that's why I stayed. I was staying for the
Yeah.
paycheck. I had the flexibility of being remote. I do love the people I worked with, but it was just, there were a lot of issues that we were dealing with and I couldn't get past them, right? And so had been praying over it. And I knew he was telling me to quit, and it was coming down to like, you gotta surrender there, like not your plan.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we were chatting, I think it was like 2 days before I put in my notice. And we were texting and I was saying, you know, I'm just so anxious. Like I know it's the right thing to do, but I feel like I'm letting people down. And like, what if I don't find something else? Can we financially do this? Like we're cutting our family finances essentially in half. Yeah. I just had a second baby. The kids are on my insurance. Now it's not the time to like just decide not to work. And so we were texting. I was doing my Bible study, and it was so funny. It was the day before I was doing it, and the verse was Philippians 4:6-7, about like come to God about everything, prayer and thanksgiving, and He'll provide for you. And I had read that verse the day before, and Rebecca and I were texting, and she said, I just have this gut feeling you're not supposed to be at this meeting that's coming up in February, and we won't unpack all that. But she opened her Bible app, and she said, oh my gosh, this is the verse that just popped up on my Bible app. I didn't even look it up. And it was the exact same verse that I had studied the day before.
I'm not shocked at all. That keeps
But
happening.
I didn't have so it was like, you know, when you pull up the Bible app and you have to go to the Bible page and search which verse you're looking for. It was already pulled up.
It was just like
Like
all-
the Bible, it
wasn't that one.
it was on the Bible. It was already to it, and it was, and I had
that
not
exact
been
same
reading
verse.
Philippians on my phone at all.
my
I hadn't been like on the Bible section of it.
So
Isn't
she,
that crazy?
she texted that, and I was like, okay,
You're like,
gosh.
I hear you. I
Sir.
will quit.
And then it was like this snowball where I was texting our girlfriend, Carrie, who works at like a preschool. And I said, hypothetically, if I was to quit my job and like say I don't go back or I go part-time, would you guys have space in your twos class if I were to pull Beckett out of daycare?
I thought you were going to ask if you could work there.
Oh, God,
and I
no.
was like, I thought you didn't like children.
I won't subject anyone's children to me.
You do great with Phoebe.
The thing is, I've actually
There's a little bit of terror there on your
Phoebe
little scared
terrifies
of
me.
it.
Honestly, she should.
She can run the world.
She's scrappy.
She parents me. Yeah, and I kind of love it.
Yeah. You're like, fair.
You do you, sis.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I actually am good with kids. It's
You
just like
are.
I'm not the one who's going to be like, oh, let's bring all the babies together and hang out. I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, you're like,
You're like, how many children are going to be there again?
Yeah.
you mean to tell me you like having full conversations and finishing them?
Yeah. Sounds great, right?
Oh.
We like to focus.
What?
Weird. No. I was asking Carrie, like, if I quit, would y'all have space for Beckett to come do like half day preschool with you guys? That way I could save on the daycare bill. And she was like, well, I'm not over the twos class. Let me text the teacher and see. And this was all like right after the text with Rebecca. And she was like, come to find out we have one spot left. That's 5 days a week. And I was like,
Of course.
and so I haven't pulled Beckett out because right now, like, the plan is for me to go back to work. I just needed to step away to find out what I'm passionate about again. But, you know,
he's calling you into something else.
and what was funny is as soon as I quit, he was providing. I've had like people who I haven't talked to this much in years reach out to me like 2 or 3 times a week to talk about a job. I had another group who I've worked with in the past who, when they found out I was quitting, said like, come work for us.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
we'll give you part-time. We'll accommodate what you need.
Wow.
Like, and so even if it's stuff that say I decide to not go down that route, he's showing me like,
I've got you.
keep leaning on me.
Yeah, I've got you.
I kept telling you and you just weren't listening.
Well, you didn't have a backup plan, but he did.
He did. And it's so much better than I thought it would be, right? I mean, and it's to the point where I'm having to tell myself like, Dare, take the month off. Don't jump right back in because you have these options. Rest.
You've been through so much. He's providing that period of rest for you
Yeah.
from the
I just have to
time
take
you
it.
the time you started to try to get pregnant to now.
Now.
Everything that's happened. You've been through so much. I can see how he would want you to honor yourself, your body, your
And you
mind.
find him in the stillness.
Yeah.
You find him in the
And I'm
quiet.
having to like learn that because I'm trying not to replace scrolling Outlook or my team's chats with Instagram or LinkedIn or like checking my personal email. I'm like, truly unplug and don't feel guilty for sitting.
Yeah.
That's
it's
my
so hard though
problem.
as a type A person.
I'm like, I need to clean or run the errands.
Oh, I said, that house about to be
immaculate. Immaculate.
You're like, I have so much time. Wow, I need a magic eraser.
Yeah. Where I cleaned both porches, I reorganized the kids' rooms. Like, it's been a week, guys. There's something wrong with me. He's like, Tara, go to the beach and eat a donut. Calm
I
down.
feel like if you don't go back to work, you're going to be like president of the PTA or something.
Imagine.
And her kid doesn't even go to school there.
She's the president of the PTA.
Who are you?
I'm telling you.
You're
Mommy
like, who's going to be my director of ops?
I'm going to just meet you. I'm telling you, it's like hard to sit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so going through all of this, it's such a beautiful, heartbreaking, but actually really inspirational
Amazing. It's
story
been fabulous. Yeah.
and journey with
And the peace I feel. Yeah. Like that was how I knew, especially with this career move, being so nervous. When I gave my notice, I immediately felt at peace. I was like, right
the
move.
right choice.
Yeah. And just the signs that like after I gave my notice, some of the things that were like said or how it was handled, I was like,
right.
yep, we're good. Like I'm
Confirmation.
yeah. And not like in a bad way, but it was just like he's showing me like you're doing the right thing.
Was your, I mean, I think we might have talked, but I'm assuming your identity was wrapped up in your
I think
work.
to an extent, right? Much more when I was younger and
Yeah.
I was wanting to climb the corporate ladder and like get the director role
Yeah.
or whatever it may be. Once I had kids, that kind of settled. And not so much I didn't want the higher position, but I didn't want the travel that came with it.
Yeah.
I have young babies. I don't want to be gone for the, like, I don't want to miss that time.
Yeah, for something stupid like a meeting.
You know? Who does that?
It's so dumb.
I'll need to pay bills.
I will only leave for a Taylor Swift concert.
Let's debate.
I will only leave for a Taylor Swift concert. You're like, how could I leave my 4-month-old baby? And I'm like, I left Forrest at 5 weeks to go to Taylor Swift.
That's just automatically excused in my mind. Like, of course he did.
I got those tickets before he was conceived.
So I will say that's like the one thing in our friendship. That's the thing in our friendship where I'm like,
not
I
agree
love
on.
you, but I don't get it.
Our entire friendship is yin and yang, though.
It
If you
is.
think about it.
It is.
It's polar opposite.
I
Like,
love it though.
But
It's
we
perfect.
we vibe.
Like when they got engaged,
it.
I texted her because like I'm not a Swiftie, but like her music's fine, but I don't freak.
Oh, when Taylor and Kelsey got
Yeah.
or Taylor and Travis got engaged.
The thing, yeah. I texted her and I was like, "Are you okay?"
You're like, no, I'm unwell.
I'm taking the day off.
I'm taking a
to
personal day.
celebrate.
Kids, go do
My
your
good
own
friend,
thing.
She
just got
literally said
engaged.
that.
My good friend just got engaged.
I'm taking the day off. You're like, you're a stay-at-home mom. Like, you cannot leave your children.
I'm going out for
You're a
mimosas.
full-time job, man. She's like, "Derek, can you come get the kids?" Just kidding.
Oh, so
Yeah.
fun. So, well, I guess let's maybe wrap up with our
Yeah.
final question. We're asking all our guests. Do you want to ask it?
Yeah. So our word for the season is surrender, which is
funny.
your word.
Which we did. I don't think we talked about that this time.
Yeah.
We did last time.
The surrender.
word.
The word
Yeah.
surrender.
Well, fill them in.
Yeah. So our church every year, this was funny. The first time we recorded this podcast, we kind of uncovered this. So our church every year asks us to pick a word that's like kind of weighing on our hearts to kind of embody what your year is going to look like. And I kept thinking at the end of last year, it was going to be trust. Like learn that to trust other people that they can take care of things, or that God's going to take care of it, or it doesn't all have to weigh on your shoulders there. And the more I kept digging into that, I was like, I actually don't think that's it. I think the word is surrender. And then when we were talking, you're like, oh my God, that's our word for the podcast. And it truly is. I had to figure out, I can't trust him if I'm not going to surrender it first.
That's the first step.
Yeah. Going through the steps, right?
Yeah.
7 steps. So I think that's what it was. Is so this year has been my year of surrender. So
So next year will be trust.
I think so, right?
Yeah,
I kind of see
maybe.
where
Yeah.
where he's speaking to me, but like surrendering the unplanned pregnancy and goodness, what a beautiful miracle. And surrendering to giving up a job that has brought so much stability for the past 10 years.
And letting him provide the
And
stability.
truly not having a plan, and it feels good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And I mean, it's so true. Like, we have our plans, and his are so much better, because I would have never pictured this.
yeah.
So what does surrender mean to you?
I think for me, surrender is truly like letting go of things without expectation. Like, we can say we're going to surrender, but still hold in our mind how we think that should look or play out, which is, especially for someone like me who thrives off of a plan, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can say I'm surrendering something, but I still have an expectation.
Yeah. So how do you let go of the expectation?
Practice every day, right?
Yeah.
And I like, every day isn't perfect. I think this career move, though, has really helped with that. And I think he saw that I needed the reinforcement with him immediately saying, here's some options. You don't have to take them right now, but I want you to see that if you just let go, I'm going to give you the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so it may not be jobs that I end up taking, or maybe it is, and it turns out to be something really, really beautiful. But had I not surrendered to him, I would have never have seen it.
Oh my gosh. It's also just incredible that this is happening right now, this conversation, because of everything that's going on with Heaven. And I feel like I just needed to hear that. And I feel like I'm almost going to cry. But it's like,
It's been a heavy
it's
couple of
hard.
weeks.
And so it's like, he is so good. You just got to let go.
And so you can see it.
So you can see and let him provide in a way that's so much better.
When I think allowing ourselves the space to let go of that expectation, right? Like, the pressures we put on ourselves of how to behave a certain way, or how we judge other people for how they behave. Like, we have got to let go of that. And when we don't, we miss how good he is, because we're so strung up in our own thoughts and like our own plans and what we think is right and wrong and all this, that we're missing the whole point of what he has to give us.
Yeah.
And I think that's true surrender, is like, stop beating yourself up for not being this perfect person that you think you're supposed to be, like holding the perfect job or having the perfect number of kids or the best friendships or whatever it may be. Just let go and wait and see. And that's really hard to like sit and wait. We
Waiting well.
want instant gratification, right?
Yeah. I mean, our society's built on that.
And so we miss the whole point.
He's undoing so much of that right
is.
now.
Yeah.
So incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and re-recording.
I know.
Re-recording. That's
Oh, so good.
I think it meant to fall that way there.
It
Got
really
the
did.
extra layer of the chapter.
Yeah.
It was like the last piece.
It was.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the last piece, right?
I know. And
Never
like,
know.
well,
Nothing
he's
else.
back on, folks. Plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited for you, though, to like have this
To see where it goes. I'm excited. Like, it
Do you
timed out
want to?
perfect.
Could you ever see yourself actually not working in a traditional career?
I think so. Like, honestly, more of what's coming out too is like maybe consulting positions or
Yeah.
something. I don't know what that looks like. I think my husband and I would have to sit down and have a serious talk. I don't know how long I can stay out of work either, just
Yeah.
because I thrive on it a little bit.
We talked about this before, where some women are just, that's their jam, and that's okay.
I think I'm kind of in the
lit up
middle.
By but I feel I found my sweet spot is like 15 hours.
You think so? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, do I want to be part-time or do I want full-time? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think what I struggle with is when I say part-time, is that me working like 3 days a week or like half days? Like, what? I don't know. I've never had the option to do that.
Yeah.
And again, I think some of that is relying on God of providing, because again, we cut our salaries in half.
Yeah.
Well, and then when you do part-time, you have less childcare, so you actually end up
It's a
taking
blend.
on a little bit more. Well, I think you take on more responsibility
your
because
kid, yeah.
by the time your kid gets out of school at 12, say if you went part-time for work, you move them out of
Or do I
full-time
just
daycare.
leave them in daycare, but then I'm missing out on that money of working full-time?
Exactly. So it's kind of
It's a
the
hard
balance.
balance.
It really is. Because
Yeah.
that's what we don't have our kids in daycare. We just have part-time child so we used to have a consistent we do have somebody that comes on Tuesdays and some Thursdays, but it's only for like 3 hours. So, and Noah's in school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and but Forrest isn't.
Yeah.
And so we're just really navigating
Like
this.
flying by the seat of your pants. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to cut down my work hours. And in my ideal world is 15. Is it that? No, it's more like 30.
Well, and then you get in the questions of like, is 15 even worth it? Like income wise.
Yeah.
What's the trade off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I decide what I make, which
Right.
is nice.
Yeah.
But so it is worth it for me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But people in like a traditional corporate,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a lot of our friends, like they've taken a step back from jobs because they were paying for daycare. With the
Yes.
money they were working for. So it's like, I may as well stay
Exactly.
home.
That's exactly what. Well, I had to leave.
Yeah.
It was I
Right.
didn't have a relationship with God, but I was forced
Right.
out. But that it would have been that same conversation of I make
Does it
what
make sense?
daycare
What
would
you did
cost.
cost. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. And
I don't know how people do it. Yeah.
I'm like, that's literally way more than our mortgage.
Yeah.
How-
Oh yeah.
How?
I'm trying to do the math of like, what, yeah, we pay more a month for both of
daycare?
our kids
Yeah.
to daycare than our mortgage.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, crazy.
Good times.
Crazy. But you think about how rich you're going to be when they're out of daycare.
Or
be
diapers
all
and
that money.
formula.
Oh, I know. You're going to be rolling in the dough.
I was like, Phil, just give it like 3 more months. Banks will be all formula. We gonna be balling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be good.
I don't need to go back to work. It's fine.
We'll just cut his formula budget.
Yeah. You always think about that, and then it's like you get there and it's like, oh, here comes the next thing.
I know.
And you're like,
Double down
"Dang."
on berries.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And then they decide, I don't want any strawberries anymore, even though I have 2 cartons in
I don't
there.
like it.
Yeah. That's the most disgusting thing I've
How
ever
could
seen
you
in my life.
ever give
Yeah.
me blackberries?
Kids are savage.
What Noah did this morning.
What's all that over you?
Is that diaper pain? Dude, that kid's been doing this shit too. My body hurts. Stop.
Why did you do that?
I don't know.
And then she's
Rolls her eyes.
let me think about it.
Dude,
Choices were made.
it's like baby powder. Just
I know. That's what I thought it was at first.
Thanks for being here with us today. If something resonated, maybe a sentence, a silence, or a story, hold on to that. If you felt seen or stirred or simply curious, we hope you'll join us again. Until then, stay open, stay tender, and remember, there's always a seat for you at the table.